I know a lot of people, they think about Dubai as being like fake or, it's not real. Now, one of the biggest cons that I have to mention, here's a few very important things that you need to consider if you're coming to Dubai. Living in Dubai has been an amazing experience, but there are a few things that you need to know if you're considering living here. So I'm making this video to show you what it's really like living here in the UAE as an American citizen. I want to show you the pros and cons of living in Dubai. I want to share with you how much everything costs, your living, transportation, food, entertainment, you name it. And then I want to share a few different tips if you're considering living in Dubai. Before we get started, a little bit of context on myself. I'm an entrepreneur, born and raised in the United States, and in 2015, I started a software and media company. Since 2019, we've been fully remote, and I have the opportunity to work anywhere in the world. We have an amazing team, and we meet up together once per year. Outside of that, I have the freedom to be anywhere. So I've been to Dubai a few different times on holiday, and I really like the energy, the vibe, the scenery. In Michigan, where I'm from, it gets pretty dark and cold in the winter, so I figured this is the perfect opportunity to find a place where I can be active outside, produce media content, which is a big part of what I do, in an environment that's as beautiful as the Arabian Gulf, to find aquatic facilities that I can train with outside. And of course, the young energy, the entrepreneurship, the vibe. It is unlike anything else I've ever experienced. I've been to over 24 countries, and I think it's quite telling to say that I decided to set up shop here in Dubai. Right now I'm in the beautiful marina. Look at this view, and it's an amazing community to be a part of, and that's what I want to talk about a little bit more. In my apartment now, I'll give you guys a proper tour and let you know exactly how much this place costs. But first, I want to show you the view from the balcony. This is the view from one side, as you can see, pretty magnificent. But it gets better. Let's take a look at the other side. Ho, 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 look at that. And the view is absolutely spectacular. I first came to Dubai on December 31st of last year, so to celebrate New Year's Eve and kick off the year at the Dubai Opera downtown, Burj Khalifa, to feel the young energy and the spirit of the city was something incredible. Let's talk about the pros of living in Dubai. The first is young energy. It's an international vibe here. I think the population is just over 10 million people in the UAE, about 3.5 million in Dubai, but of those 10 million, only 1 to 1.5 million are local citizens, Emiratis. Everyone else, the 85%, all over the world, and that's really unlike anywhere else I've ever been. So you go outside, the local shops, the market, the street, and you're gonna hear every language you could think of. Of course, you're gonna hear English and Arabic, you're gonna hear Russian, you're gonna hear French, Italian. So many different things are going on because it really is this international hub, and you feel the young energy because the average age of the population is just 30 years old. If you compare that to the United States, the average age of the population is 38 years old. In other places like Monaco that feel posh and have a lot of money, the average age is 55. Another amazing pro of living in Dubai is the weather. It is so beautiful, the scenery is breathtaking, and it's so easy to just go for a walk. You can rent a bike, you go for a run. Actually, the first week that I came here, I ran the Dubai Marathon. I did the 10K, not the full marathon, and it just goes to show how welcoming the environment is. Like, I don't even run, and I felt motivated to go and run the 10K. I'm also a part of a group called Swim Tribe Dubai, where I've been doing amazing open water swims. Just the other week, we organized a group. We had 40 people. We went out on a boat to the World Islands. This is unlike anywhere else you'll ever see in the world. And we swam around the island of Antarctica. I've also swum around the Burj Al Arab several times. And really, these scenes are just mind-blowing how magnificent these structures, these islands. To be in the sea, I love the water, so to be so connected and so close to a beautiful sea and the beach is really incredible. The third pro is the inspiring people that are here in the UAE. There's so many entrepreneurs, there's so many people who have come here from all sorts of backgrounds, socioeconomic status, and they're coming here to build something. And that's really unique because most places, it's the same people who were born and raised there, they grew up, and when you come to Dubai, you feel this international energy, this work ethic, this environment where people just want to grow. And you can see it obviously from the investment perspective, because you can see these skyscrapers and new complexes and different attractions that are being built for tourism. But on the business side, I attended the 1 billion followers summit, and it was amazing to be surrounded by other content creators and really feel and network with these entrepreneurs who are really making stuff happen. And while I'm here in Dubai, I actually just finished my third book. I have my other 2 books here, and I was able to finally crank it out. It's gonna be released real soon, probably after this video comes out. But really, to be in an environment where people are working, you go to a cafe and you just start chatting with someone next to you, they're an entrepreneur, they're building something. The 4th Pro, you have access to everything. In the UAE, you can literally get the best in the world in anything, whether it's food, experiences, cultural experience. You can literally do anything, not only from the tourism perspective, but also from the business and lifestyle perspective. Just in the marina where I'm staying right now, there are hundreds, literally hundreds of restaurants along this 7-kilometer strip that's inside the canal. Then the neighboring community next to me also has over 200 restaurants, not to mention what you have in JBR. And of course, you can hop in a car or take the transportation, which we'll talk about at the end, and you can just jet over to another community and you can literally get access to anything. You hop on a boat from the marina or from Dubai Harbor and you can see one of the most breathtaking skylines at sunset. These experiences really are one of a kind. Dubai is also a connecting hub of the world. So there's always people coming here, not only for tourism, but also for business. It's an international business hub. And you really feel the energy that, people are messaging me now because I'm here in Dubai. When I was in Michigan, no one's messaging me, hey, I'm coming through, hey, I have a business trip, I have a layover, I happen to be here. When you're in an international city that's a connecting hub, not only for business and tourism, but also geographically. So when you're in Dubai, it's so easy to just hop on a plane and go pretty much anywhere in Europe, Asia, the Middle East, even Africa. The Americas, where I'm from, you're pretty much separated from the rest of the world. I think there's a stat that you can access over 4 billion people in just a 5 or 6 hour plane ride. So just the other week, I was in Saudi Arabia for a couple of days and I flew back, and that was a whole experience in itself. It's a 1-hour flight. In a little bit, I'm going to the World Championships in Doha, Qatar, and I'm gonna fly. It's a 1-hour plane ride to go to another country. Probably the biggest con of being here is just how far away I am from my family. Family is really important to me. I don't really have a lot of relatives. I have a few here in the region, but my family, my immediate family, I'm so close to them. And to be so far on literally the other side of the world, even the time zone change, it's 9 hours. I mean, from a business perspective, it's fine. We can do asynchronous work, but it's not the same when you're with your family and being able to actually hug them. And I miss them so much, but that's definitely a con of being out here. And another thing that really bothers me about the infrastructure here is just how far apart everything is. So right now I'm in the marina. It's amazing. I can walk anywhere inside of the marina. I can walk to JBR Beach, but if I want to go just to the metro, or I want to go to the neighboring district, JLT, it takes 25-30 minutes just to walk, and most districts in Dubai are not actually walkable at all. So if you want to go from district to district, you're going to have to go by public transit, by car, by taxi, Kareem, whatever, and it takes a long time, and the traffic can be absolutely atrocious. If you leave in the evenings in certain areas like Business Bay, downtown, Marina, JBR, you could literally be in a parking lot, which is the street, for an hour. You're trying to go just 1 kilometer. It'd be faster if you could walk, but there's no sidewalks and it's super, super frustrating. Not only is the traffic absolutely atrocious, but the public transportation is not designed efficiently, in my opinion. I'm not an engineer for this kind of stuff, but to get to the metro, for example, from where I am in a top district with all these skyscrapers, it's a 20-minute walk just to get to the metro. Yes, there's a tram, but the metro is only 2 lines and the tram is 2 or 3 lines as well. So you pretty much need a car. Now, one of the biggest cons that I have to mention is the temperature in the summer. Now, I haven't been here for any extended period of time during the summer, but the temperature, the heat, and the humidity, I hear, is just on a whole nother level. Here in Dubai, everything is on another level. The tallest building in the world, the deepest swimming pool in the world, and the hottest and most humid climate in the world in the summer. So I mentioned one of the pros is the temperature and the weather is so beautiful, but that's at this time of the year. I hear from May, June, July, August, even September, these 4 or 5 months are just, it's a raging inferno outside. Yes, there's air conditioning everywhere, and if you have the privilege of just sitting inside, you don't have to go anywhere, that's fine. But I love to be outdoors, and it's certainly a con of being in Dubai in the summer. As I'm editing this, I almost forgot to mention, one of the biggest cons of being an American citizen in the UAE is that you don't get to save on your taxes. You still pay the taxman, Uncle Sam, regardless of where you live. And I think the United States is the only country in the world that makes you pay taxes. So everyone here making their income, not paying taxes to the government, if you're an American citizen, I'm still paying taxes. And my final con is a little difficult to explain, but let me do my best. There's no grit in this city. There's no roughness in this country. And it's not just in Dubai, but in the region, especially in areas of new infrastructure. Where I come from in Detroit, we have dirty spots. Yes, there's beautiful areas downtown and new developments and everything, but we have some of the old, rich history and culture. You know, it's actually nice to have a little bit of dirty because it makes the clean feel so much better, right? When you have something that's not as nice, it makes the nice, having that contrast, makes it feel that much better. But in Dubai, you don't really have that. Everything is pretty much new, it's shiny, it's clean, it's fancy, it's posh, and that's great. But when you don't have the contrast, it doesn't really make it feel as genuine. And that's why I know a lot of people, they think about Dubai as being like fake or, you know, it's not real. Let me tell you, Dubai is a real place. I don't know why people keep calling it fake, but like any place in the world that has high levels of wealth, you're gonna have a lot of other things on the other side of that. But even in Dubai, like you don't really have that. So it's kind of hard to explain, but the toughness, the grit, that mindset, and also the aesthetic, it's pretty much missing in Dubai, and I don't think it's ever going to come, and maybe that's not that much of a bad thing. All right, so let's talk about costs. Now, the apartment that I'm in is a studio in a relatively nice building. I think it's about 15 years old. It's not the nicest building. It's certainly not an older building that feels like it's falling apart. So let's call it mid-range to a little bit above mid-range. And this apartment through Airbnb is costing me $4,000 per month. So if you want to buy a studio apartment like this, it's about 50 square meters, and it's going to cost you anywhere from 1 to 1.5 million dirham, which is about 300 to 450,000 US dollars. Now this unit will actually rent for about 120,000 dirham per year, which comes out to about $2,800 per month. In terms of transportation, I have a rental car. It's a Toyota Yaris from Hertz, and that costs about 500 US dollars per month. One of my favorite things here in Dubai is the Careem app, and I got Careem Plus. Careem is all things transportation. You can even order food, you can do your laundry, you can get your house cleaned, and they partnered up with a local bike service so you can rent a bike. So I have Careem Plus for 19 AED per month, and I get unlimited rides on the bike. Now let's talk about food. The price ranges vary a lot more than in the United States. You can certainly go to a nice restaurant in the United States, spend a lot of money, but here in Dubai, you're gonna find extremes on both sides. So it's very easy to find a shawarma sandwich, for example, for like 10 AED. That's less than $3. You can get a solid sandwich, and you can get an entire meal and get it delivered from a lot of different amazing restaurants. It's gonna taste pretty good, give you a solid amount of food, and it's gonna cost less than $10. It's very difficult to do that in the United States. It's pretty much impossible. You're gonna end up paying at least $15 or $20. On the other end of the spectrum, you're gonna have much higher prices. So you can go to a restaurant, easily spend between $10 and $50 per person. You can also do Sunday brunch is a big thing here, and it's gonna cost anywhere from 200 to 300 dirham per person, which is about $55 to $80 per person for just like one meal. Now you're gonna get solid food, it's gonna be nice, and the prices can even go well beyond that, but it's pretty typical to spend between $50 and $100 per person if you're going to a nicer restaurant. And I almost forgot, groceries are similar price to what you spend in the United States. Some things are actually a little bit more expensive. I've noticed some of the fruits and vegetables are a little bit more, but you can get everything delivered for free, which is an amazing value. And in terms of entertainment, there's literally no shortage of things to do. You can literally do anything. You wanna go for a camel ride in the desert? You can do that. You wanna go ziplining down the marina. There's literally the world's longest urban zip line right in front of my balcony. I'll put some B-roll. It's insane. There's so many things to do, and you're going to pay a premium for these experiences in Dubai. Some of these things you could probably do in other places, and it's gonna cost a little bit of money. Here, it's gonna cost that much more money. And there's certainly a range of value in entertainment. If you wanna go to the clubs or all this other stuff that I don't go to, you can spend a lot of money to go and have that kind of entertainment. And some other miscellaneous things like laundry and house cleaning. You can get your laundry picked up and delivered for anywhere from $20 to $30 depending on what you're doing. You can also do home cleaning anywhere from 80 to 150 AED. That's between like $20 and $40 to get your place clean. Now that I've given you a balanced perspective of the pros and the cons, here's a few very important things that you need to consider if you're coming to Dubai, or maybe you've been here for a little bit. The first is how you're actually going to come here, and that means your visa. So as an American citizen, I'm actually on a tourist visa, which is only 30 days. Remember I mentioned I went to Saudi Arabia, I'm going to Doha. Yeah, I'm doing that all within a 1 month period. Now it's pretty easy to do because like I said, you're in the connecting hub of the world, but there are a few different visa options out there if you have a longer stay or you don't want to deal with that. Another thing to consider is the cost. Now I already mentioned a few of the different price points of how much it costs to live, eat, transportation, all that stuff. And so it's very easy to get carried away here in Dubai because it is so easy to spend money. There's so many different things going on and you feel like you need to live in a certain way. Now I'm lucky enough to be in a position where I'm really happy with what I've got right now and I don't feel the need to go out and splurge beyond what I'm already spending money on. So depending on your situation, it's something you for sure have to consider because my lifestyle right now is much different than someone spending a lot less. I would say you can actually make less than 10,000 US dollars per month after you pay taxes. Maybe you have 7,000 left over and you can live very comfortably here in Dubai. And another thing to consider is just how many things there are to do. So if you're one of those people that has FOMO and you just see all these people doing something all the time and you feel like you need to do more and more, which I sometimes fall into that category, it's really frustrating because there's always something to do. And if you need a little bit more time to yourself, if you need to chill, then that's something you really need to consider because it never stops here. It is just action, go, go, go. There's 17 different things going at any given moment. And another thing to consider is just the mindset of being here because other people might not understand why you're in Dubai. People treat you differently from back home. People talk to you differently. They think about you in a different perspective when they know that you're here. And most people don't really understand it. Even if they've been to Dubai, it's something that's pretty difficult to explain, but it's this feeling that, people, they don't understand the need to have this kind of environment. And the people who are here, obviously, they understand that need and they've been able to set up a life for themselves where you really thrive and feel empowered in this environment. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what questions and comments you have down below. And if you want to see what it's like day in the life as a CEO in New York City, make sure you check out this vlog right over here.